Hey everybody, how's it going? We are here with a timeless reading. The first two cards that we have out, the first three cards that we have out, I am seeing the Magician, I'm seeing Seven of Wands, and I'm also seeing Three of Pentacles. With the Magician, I get the sense that this is about what you want and what your intention is. It feels as far as like a plan that you have for what you want to do, like a vision that you have, and even just uttering that may in some way be controversial, or there may be some type of backlash for this, or like for some of you this can maybe be somebody around you that you feel like you have to like defend sort of what it is that you want, because Magician is connected with like your intention, what you're trying to do. Having this Seven of Wands here can be, for some reason, like if you're gonna pull this off, you may have to sort of stand your ground if you're really going to do this. And because it is Mercury, it is connected with sort of what you're communicating, what you're speaking, what your intention is, where you are mentally. You may have to protect something mentally as well. Or again, just like stand your ground and not be swayed. If this is something that you feel really determined to do here, you may need to just like stand your ground here with this. And maybe this is going to be in an environment where there's some type of like input that's at play. Okay. Wow. I'm seeing Three of Pentacles, and we not only have the Emperor coming out, but also the Empress right after. I feel like you're really on to something here with the track that you're on. And because of that, this feels like not too much in this energy, not too much in that energy, but there being a balance between the two because we have both of these here. Because the Empress is going to be like ultimately really what feels right to you, and then Emperor is going to be what you're doing with that. And I think really standing strong and holding firm when it comes to what you deem as being correct, what you deem as being compatible, what you deem as fitting correctly within sort of your idea of what you want this experience to be, of what you are creating it to be, especially when you get to have a say, which you do in this instance, of course. I feel too like you're in the process of learning about yourself. Because we have the Emperor here, this is about the vision that you have for your life, especially having the Magician here as well, with what you want to do, with sort of what you're building. And the Empress is going to be the thing that feeds and inspires that. Emperor is like, are you going to listen to that and then do something with that? Or are you going to really trust yourself here? Are you going to trust what you're feeling? Are you going to trust that self-knowledge as well? And so working with those components, working with those elements. But something about this can feel challenging, because the way that I'm seeing the Magician feels like this idea that you have for what you're wanting to do here, what you're intending to do here, and so having the Seven of Wands there feels like protecting that. And then next to the Empress, which can be seen as a more vulnerable energy because it's more receptive, we then have the Emperor there sort of protecting that. So I feel like when it comes to you navigating through the insight that you are, I think like really bringing to the front now in order to understand that there's also a layer of protection around it too. I think to make sure that it doesn't become diluted with something that you feel isn't genuine to your process. and ensuring that this really will be carried out. I'm seeing something here about like a mental break that's happening. Break meaning you can be taking some time to yourself, you can be quieting, you can be more tuned in on an internal level, maybe less external about this. Seeing Four of Wands or seeing Four of Swords be connected with the Magician. I'm also seeing recharging that's happening on an emotional level. You can feel protective over this part of yourself. Because I feel like you're giving a mouthpiece to the part of you that's connected with the experience that you are feeling. And then there's something that's going to be done with this. And that's why this energy is being worked with right now. Like, if this is a part of you where Queen of Cups can be the part of you that goes through your experiences, feeling what's going on, but doesn't always have so much of a say, because it can be easier to sort of brush off this part of yourself or like prioritize other parts of yourself. Because I feel like Queen of Cups, more than any of the energies, like it's not as loud, but you can really feel the energy of it. And so if you're not in tune with it, you're going to feel unsettled. Your moods can feel affected. You can have stuff going on with your mental health if there is not a voice being given to this part of your energy. So allowing it to sort of come to the front and everyone is quiet, and really allowing yourself to hear this part of yourself and say, like, what do you want now? Because when we have a Magician and we have Queen of Cups, this is what is feeling right to you and what do you want to do based off of what you're feeling here. And Queen of Cups can be a little bit of a more timid part of yourself, or a part of you that can be sort of bulldozed over at times. So I think like quieting the room to really allow this part of yourself to speak and hear the voice of it and what it is really attempting to communicate here. There's a lot of learning that can happen, because it can be like the quietest parts of yourself that are coming up and saying, actually, I want something here. Actually, I have an idea here. Actually, this is what I think is best for us. It feels like a very wise part of yourself that you're tuning into and that you're willing to work with now. And maybe for some reason it like wasn't time for this to happen, or maybe you weren't ready for this. I feel like there's a welcoming of this part of you. And I also feel too, like with Queen of Cups, it can be an easier part of you to dismiss, because it can be like, oh, that's irrational, or like moody, or whatever, you know, really that dismissive energy when it comes to the feminine water that can be easy to sort of write off, and it feels like it's being honored now within your experience. As difficult as that may be, because there is anxiety that's being worked with here. And maybe this is also a part of you that does bring up anxiety to be working with as well. I think more so about what you have to do, what is sort of what you have to step up to the plate to do here, because the Eight of Swords is coming before the Emperor. So it can mean like before you have to show up and do something here. And this is going to be a big something, because we have the Emperor here. There can be a lot of like, I don't know. Like, I feel kind of stuck here, or I'm feeling nervous, or I'm starting to like really get stuck in my head. When Emperor needs to show up and do something, there can sort of be that feeling that induces anxiety. There's something about boundaries being important here. I'm seeing something really important about standing your ground and articulating what you need to articulate without being swayed in a direction that you don't want to go in, without being swayed in a direction that doesn't feel genuine to you. There's also, so the Emperor is the part of you that sort of like manages all the other parts of you and that listens to the other parts of you. And right now it feels like the Emperor and the Queen of Cups are having a discussion. Now, Queen of Cups is that energy where if you dismiss it, like it will become quiet, but you'll still sort of feel the symptoms of what's going on. So it can be something where like something doesn't feel right emotionally, and if stuff is being dismissed, you start getting like weird shifts within your mood, or you start feeling like you're not enjoying things, or you start feeling empty, stuff like that. So this part of you that's really in control of the like feeling of your experience is coming up. And in this setting, it really does feel like a very quiet part of yourself that's like very, very powerful, but doesn't like overpower or talk over the other parts of yourself. So you sort of have to get quiet to really hear and listen and tune in. So that part of you is coming through and having a discussion with the Emperor. So Queen of Cups is saying, this is what I'm feeling, this is what's going on, this is my perspective here. And Emperor is going to take that. So this is a part of you that's going to take that, make sense of it, and figure out what needs to be done now based off of that. I'm listening to what you're saying. I'm going to do something about it. It's like when you go to the person that's sort of in charge of everybody and they're allowing you to communicate what needs to be communicated. Your opinion is valued here, and then they're like, I'm going to take that and I'm going to do something with it now. But it's with you and yourself here. So that's how this is working here. So Emperor is a part of you that's like, may have to sacrifice, may have to do difficult things, may not always be easy what has to be done, but this is for our life to be looking correct the way that we want it to look. And so I'm willing to do what needs to be done here. Okay. So there's that part of you that's online. Also too, I think that the whole idea of getting all of this to work together can be something that doesn't always feel like the easiest thing to do here, just because of how I think complex it can feel to work with all of these different aspects of your energy. Then coming back to a place where there is a necessity for you to be confident in what you are understanding, confident in this vision that you have, and to really pull this off in a way where there is self-trust rather than self-denial. Because we start with the Magician, which is about you knowing here clearly what your intention is, what you intend to do, and then we end with the Queen of Wands, which is that part of you that's like, yes, I believe in myself, I trust in myself, and so I'm here and I'm going to pull this off. I'm going to do it. And then we also see the Four of Swords and in one corner, and we see the Empress in the other corner, and I do feel like this is going to like restore your empowerment in some way, and it is going to restore pleasure within your life. It can restore something relationally within your life. It can restore something when it comes to your creativity, when it comes to you having the experiences that you want to experience. It can give you some type of peace of mind as well, and it's going to feel like that's happening because you are honoring yourself and you're honoring your values here. And so there will be this feels right to me. And I feel like really coming at this from a place of calm and peace within you. That if there had been something that was going on that felt like something within you was maybe like withering or not being nurtured, it feels like this is going to bring that energy back in and bring that attunement back in. Maybe like stabilize some stuff for you too, because it feels as well like this is connected with value and feeling like things are right within the structure. And this means too that choices are being made, so you get to the point where you look around and you're like, okay, this actually holds meaning for me, this holds significance for me, whatever it may be, and feeling like you're honoring that part of yourself. Because when we're not honoring our Venus energy, you can have tons of different things around you or nothing at all and still feel like something's not right, because it doesn't really depend on what's around you if it's not compatible with your Venus energy. But when you are honoring your Venus energy and things are compatible, it is gonna feel like the stuff around you is sitting right and sitting well with you, and that there's a feeling of inner agreement with that. And so you will be able to enjoy what's there in front of you, rather than feeling like, well, like, I did this because that person said this was important, and I made this last really long, and then like I stayed with that, and then it just like doesn't hold any meaning for you. It doesn't hold that sense of value and meaning. And when you understand that code, that language of the part of yourself that is like, this holds importance or that doesn't or whatever, and understand that that is going to be particular to you and to your experience, when you honor that, you'll look around and cherish the things that you have. And I mean, beyond just like being able to be grateful, I mean like when it comes to your specific preferences and whatnot and code, when it comes to your values, this is about honoring that. And really tuning into it, tuning into those preferences that you have, and honoring that part of your system of the Venus in your chart. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.